post on Facebook talking about Snake Eyes, the 1998 what Nick Cage film. And I saw the post saying blah blah blah. So I had to go check it out for myself. But before I did, I thought I would go live and we would do it together because, I don't like looking up things and then going live after the fact. I like doing it in real time. So there's accountability to be had right here, right? So let's just see what happens. Snake Eyes is a 1998 American mystery thriller film directed and produced by Brian De Palma. The film stars Nick Cage as a detective investigating a political assassination at a boxing match in Atlantic City, with supporting roles by Gary Sinise, Carla Gugino, John Hurd, Stan Shaw, Kevin Dunn, Joel Fabiani, and Luis Guzman. De Palma also devised the story with David Cope, who was the sole writer of the screenplay. I wonder who David Cope is. David Cope, let's just see. Early life and education. Cope was born in Pewaukee, Wisconsin, as the youngest of 4 children to Margaret, family therapist, and Donald, who owned a billboard company. While attending Kettle Moraine High School, and he worked at evenings at McDonald's. Well, it doesn't say that he's anything but Jewish. It doesn't say he's something else, but it also doesn't say he's Jewish, which they normally would say. Cope is married to Melissa Thomas, a writer with whom he has 2 children. Can't find his association, right? But he does look like this. So, I don't know. The music score was composed by who gives a fuck. Alright, let's see. The film was released and produced by Paramount Pictures in North America and Buena Vista through Touchstone Pictures internationally on October 7th, 1998. The film garnered mixed reviews from critics, criticizing the film's story, writing, and pacing while praising the style and performances. It grossed $104 million worldwide against a $73 million budget. It's an amazing profit. On the night of a tropical storm, corrupt and flamboyant, this is the plot, Atlantic City police detective Rick Santoro attends a boxing match at the soon-to-close local arena between heavyweight champion Lincoln Tyler and challenger Jose Pacifico Ruiz. Lincoln Tyler Robinson. He meets up with his best friend since childhood, U.S. Navy Commander Kevin Dunn, who is working with the Department of Defense to escort Defense Secretary Charles Kirkland and arena director Gilbert Powell at the fight after the trip to Norfolk, Virginia. As the first round begins, Kevin is distracted by an attractive redhead named Serena, who wears a ruby ring and leaves his seat, which is then taken by Julia Castillo, a mysterious woman with platinum blonde hair and a white satin suit. When Ruiz unexpectedly knocks out Tyler, gunshots ring out, mortally wounding Kirkland and grazing Julia. Apparently, Kirkland is shot in the neck. Charlie Kirkland is shot in the neck. Julia, who loses her glasses and blonde wig, revealing her naturally dark hair. Kevin kills the sniper and orders the arena to be locked down. Despite the lockdown, Julia escapes into the casino, covers her wounds in a piece of cloth from her blouse, and steals the black satin jacket to disguise herself. Rick notices that the supposedly knocked out Tyler awoke instantly at the sound of the gunshots, and after studying the fight tape realizes the knockout punch didn't connect. Tyler confesses that he threw the fight in order to pay gambling debts, but he was never told that anyone would be killed, and reveals that Serena, the redhead who tricked Kevin into leaving his post, paid him to take a dive. with Tyler, Serena, and the sniper, along with the man who signaled Tyler to go down, and whoever gave him the go-ahead involved. Rick suspects a conspiracy. He reveals everything he has learned to Kevin, who confesses that the trip to Norfolk was a test to the Air Guard missile defense system, which Powell's company was backing. He deduces that the sniper, a known Palestinian terrorist, oh my fucking God, named Tariq Ben Rabet, assassinated Kirkland over the Pentagon's large-scale defense cooperation and with weapon systems transfers to Israel. Holy shit. Holy shit. Rick studies surveillance footage to find Serena while Kevin continues searching for Julia, aided by Powell's security guards. However, once they split up, it is revealed that Kirkland is actually the fifth party and mastermind, or that Kevin is actually the fifth party in the mastermind and masterminded the conspiracy. He kills his underlings, Serena and Zeitz, the man who signaled Tyler to go down, in order to prevent their further involvement, and then conceals their bodies, aided by his bodyguards. Kevin then enlists Tyler by revealing the truth to him. Julia seduces Ned Campbell, a sleazy guest at the hotel, so she can hide in his room. Both Rick and Kevin discover this simultaneously and give chase, but Rick reaches her first and takes her into protective custody. Julia confesses that she is an analyst who worked on the Air Guard test and discovered the results were faked to make the missile defense system look like it was working when it actually was not, just like the Iron Dome. Holy shit. The system failed and she tipped off Kirkland to the deception. However, Kevin discovers her actions and arranged the entire conspiracy to kill both her and Kirkland, using Rabat's background as a terrorist and arranging to have him kill the SECDEF and then be immediately killed himself. Rick discovers Kevin's involvement and, despite initially refusing to believe it, accepts the truth. After hiding Julia in a warehouse, Rick inspects the footage of a new floating camera and discovers proof of his friend's involvement. Kevin confronts Rick and confesses that his motive was to prevent any further attacks on U.S. ships similar to the one on the USS Religophile, where Kevin had to leave 28 men to drown in order to prevent the ship from sinking following an Iraqi missile strike. He offers Rick $1 million for Julia's location when Rick refuses, since the only thing he said is that Julia did nothing wrong. Kevin has Tyler beat up, but he still does not give in. Kevin, if they offer you the $1 million, you take the fucking $1 million. Once they offer to pay you to shut up, if you refuse that, the next step is to silence you. It's just that simple. Kevin plants a tracker and follows him to a warehouse just as a hurricane hits Atlantic City. When a tidal wave hits the boardwalk, Rick uses it to cover to rush Julia outside, where police, tipped off by Rick, are waiting and witness Kevin opening fire. Unable to escape the police and the news crew, despite his protest that Julia is a suspect, Kevin commits suicide on live news TV on live news feed. Rick is later hailed as a hero, but the press soon uncovers his corruption and he loses his job, mistress, and family. Before reporting his prison term, Rick meets Julia on the board. Before reporting for his prison term, Rick meets Julia on the boardwalk. She thanks him for his help, as Powell is completely restructuring his company and scrapping the Air Guard. Rick promises to call her when he gets out in 12 to 18 months. Ultimately, Serena's ruby ring is seen embedded in one of the concrete pillars of the new Powell Millennium Arena. Wow. Wow. That is... Charles Kirkland was shot in the neck. And a guy named Tyler Something Tyler is in. That is just Lincoln Tyler. Charles Kirkland. One of those weird things that I've noticed too is why when Tyler Robinson is having his charges and whatnot, so when the judge is talking to him, I guess is he being deposed? I'm not really sure, but during that session, how come the judge continues to refer to Charlie Kirk as Charlie instead of Charles? Doesn't that go against protocol? Don't they call you by your fucking given name when it's in some sort of judicial setting? Unless, I guess, you specifically request it, but don't you think that's strange? What the fuck is this snake eyes bullshit? I still want to know if Charlie Kirk's wife, if Erica Kirk was really such a crybaby, because, she was crying and crying and crying. How did her makeup stay so good? Any female that wants to come on here and tell me how you can cry significantly, repeatedly, and your makeup, I'd love to know. Anytime I've ever had makeup on when I was crying, anytime I saw a woman do it. God damn it, I hate this thing. I fucking hate this pipe. It gets clogged so fucking easily. But this is what happens when your wife buys pipes for you. She tries to do well, and I appreciate the effort, but she doesn't know how to pick a good pipe. She doesn't smoke them. So. Holy shit, man. Charles Kirkland. Charles fucking Kirkland shot in the neck. This is just dumb. If you put SN in Google machine right now, Snake Eyes 1998 is the first thing to pop up. Why Nick Cage's movie is uncanny parallels. Social media links Charlie Kirk assassination to 1998 film Snake Eyes. I wonder who the first person was to make that fucking shit. To make that connection. And then it just spread like wildfire. This was so unexpected. I thought I was done for the day. And now I keep trying to get out. They keep pulling me back in, or however that stupid quote goes. This is just fucking wild, man. And of course, Cage is sitting there with the Freemason hand gesture on the cover. So she doesn't look like what's her name? Like Erica Kirk, does she? Not even a little bit, right? That is so fucking Unilad. This is just shocking, man. Kirk's death. Kirk was fatally shot in the neck while speaking on September 10th. Oh, and the fight happened on September 10th. That's the other thing they're leaving out. That in the movie, the guy was killed on September 10th while being shot in the neck. Yes, it's a real boxing match. The catch, played by Joe Famiha, is called Charles Kirkland. Hey, let me get this straight. In 98, there was a movie where a political figure named Charlie Kirkley gets assassinated by Tyler the Executioner on September 10th, and the entire world watches the execution. There's no way that's true. There is a character called Tyler, the same name as the man suspected of shooting Kirk, but he's one of the boxers in the match where the shooting takes place and not the person who shoots the fictional Charles Kirkland. Right. He's the fall guy. He's not the real shooter. He's the guy that Also, a date of September 10th isn't explicit. As for the plot of the movie, the shooting sparks a mystery about arms development. The Man of Steel. He was the Man of Steel. And isn't it funny how Charlie was on a comeback tour? What does that even mean? I don't hear anybody talking about that. I love when people get mad at liberals. You're a liberal. You're somebody who wants liberties. I don't want us to have liberties. I want us to have control. Stupid fucking people, man. Just stupid. They've... Oh, Jesus, he was a Chinese bear. It's fucking silly, man. It's fucking silly. Did you guys know that the Pentagon was built? The biggest fucking building. The Pentagon is so big. 7 stories above ground, 2 stories underground. Literally one of the biggest buildings, if not the biggest building in the country. Was built in a year and 4 months over the winter. It was built over the winter. And the construction started on September 11th. Like, it's just more of these things where they just sort of put it out there, and it's like they dare us to fucking say something about it. So have you heard about this Snake Eyes thing yet?
No.
So in 1998, Nick Cage was in a movie called Snake Eyes, in which a political figure named Charlie Kirkland was shot in the neck on September 10th by a guy who, by a Palestinian gunman. Well, a guy whose name was Tyler the Executioner was a part of it. He was the fall guy. He wasn't the actual shooter. But...
No.
Yeah, no, I just looked it up.
I mean, I think I saw that movie, actually. But I don't remember any of that.
Right, but Charles Kirkland shot in the neck.
That's pretty crazy.
It's fucking nuts, man. By a Palestinian gunman.
$150.
It's just fucking crazy. It's crazy. And this is what I keep telling you guys. It's Israel. It's all Israel. Of all the plots, all the extra pieces that are thrown into this plot, it's a Palestinian. It's about a missile defense system that doesn't actually work, but the The numbers had been inflated to trick people into thinking it worked. Are you kidding me? I feel like I'm getting punked here.
Well, enough time has passed to where people aren't going to remember that movie.
No, it's all over the place. That's the reason why I knew about it, because it started trend really hard.
I mean, why? Well,
You sound like Candace Owens, right? Because I'm saying Israel, and I'm what? Questioning things. Like, again, I love how there's so many people out there that are calling themselves turning point people and all that shit. They're all about that free speech, unless it's against Charlie Kirk. Then you shouldn't have free speech. Like, think about how insane this is. It's just as
time. What does making the parallel with that movie do?
It just shows you that they run the same scripts all the time, and that it's programming. It's this is where it's difficult to talk to you about this because you don't look into it, and therefore you don't. It's not. It's predictive programming. It's about. It's like how the 6 million Jews thing was mentioned in newspaper after newspaper for years prior to the whole Holocaust narrative. They put it out there to like desensitize you to it. They put it out there as their way of just, and for all we know, they do it because they like to. Because they like doing that shit. Right? It's just the same shit, right? It's the same shit over and over again. They just like fucking around.
I mean, I guess my point is all it's going to lead to is frustration because, you know.
Yeah, okay, I get you. If you can't fix it, then you shouldn't talk about it. And if you don't have a proposed secondary thing, if you don't say, you know, it's exactly this, when you say it's not that, then that's not valid. And you shouldn't look at history. I get it. I know all, you know, that's just how you think. And that's how you choose to think. That's cool. But this is, you know, it just depends on what you want. Isn't it funny how the piece of shit Jew Kimmel was allowed to come back, but the non-Jew Colbert, who had a better show, who was funnier, nope, he wasn't allowed back on TV. The Jew was. The Jew who's not very funny to begin with. I mean, think about, like, where did Jimmy Kimmel even come from? Do you remember Jimmy Kimmel having this huge stand-up career? The first time I remember seeing Jimmy Kimmel was The Man Show. Right? Wasn't he just given The Man Show? Which was a terrible show. I hated The Man Show. No one did that. Shut up, you fucking pedo clown. You're a fucking moron. Like, of course there are low-level Jews who know of the conspiracy and all that shit, benefit from it. Of course there are. They prefer not to do that. You know, Israel created Charlie Kirk to kill him. His whole purpose was, they play the long game. When you control the narrative, you can afford to play the long game. We're the ones that are desperate and need things to change immediately. They live a good life, man. They get what they want. They have Semitism everywhere. So playing the long game is no big deal to them. Creating a Charlie Kirk so you can execute him on live TV, not assassinate, execute. You know, there's this great clip of here. This is funny because you don't hear anybody bringing this up, but anybody that's going to say that Charlie Kirk was more influential than Tupac, you're insane.
And only the good rappers are dead. Only the good ones. Biggie dead. Tupac dead. Vanilla Ice still alive.
It's not the one.
Shit's big, but don't make it bigger than it is. I'm watching the news and like Tupac Shakur was assassinated. Biggie Smalls assassinated. Struck down by assassins, bullets assassinated. Like, no, they wasn't. Martin Luther King was assassinated. Malcolm X was assassinated. John F. Kennedy was assassinated. Them two niggas got shot.
Exactly. Charlie Kirk got shot. He didn't get assassinated. He's not Martin Luther King level, JFK level.
To the white Christian racists he is.
Yeah, but after his death, Charlie Kirk is exponentially more popular after his death.
Absolutely. That's what I said. Hardly anybody knew who the fuck he was.
That's not the truth. Can't say hardly anybody knew him. No, he was a pretty big figure in worlds that you're not in. But he wasn't what he is since. That's for sure. He wasn't a martyr. He wasn't a symbol. Blah blah blah. You know, the funny thing is, again, nobody ever tells me what I'm wrong about. Every time somebody keeps, it's not all Jews. Okay, again, do you think all NAMBLA members are a problem? Is there any excuse somebody can give for being a NAMBLA member and saying, well, I don't actually partake in the man-boy love, but I support their right to do it. I give them money. When they do their fundraisers and stuff where they have a bunch of bounce houses and they, clowns and stuff, and they bring a bunch of kids in, because that's when they do their hunting. They only violate a few kids. Like, all the rest of the kids have fun. Is that an argument that anybody makes? Why do you think you're so programmed to protect and defend Jews? You're not talking about a group of people that is benefiting the world in any way. They hate you.
And they leech off of everybody.
Right. They hate you. Especially if you're a Christian. They think you're just dumb as shit. Mary is boiling in a vat of fucking semen in hell for all of eternity. Jesus is being tortured in hell. Blah. They don't like you. They think you're a moron. And just because there are some nice people, there's that one pink lady, that little Jewish lady who's in Washington and got that pink organization or whatever, and she's supposedly standing up for the Palestinians. Yeah, well, that's nice and all, and I'm sure there are going to be a few of you that do that. But why am I the loudest and most, like, at the end of the day, I realize I am, me of all people, am the loudest voice for the Jewish children in the world. I don't know anybody else that's actively calling out the Israel Hayom, bottom of darkness, child rape, ritualistic child rape of Jewish children. Nobody, I don't know any, especially don't know any Jews calling that shit out. The ritualistic sexual abuse of children. The Metitza B'Pei. Where are all the Jewish groups that are vocally, openly condemning Metitza B'Pei and demanding that it be eliminated? They're not, you just can't. You can't say, oh, well, because I don't practice all of the bad things, that I'm a good cult member. First of all, we don't know if you don't practice it. That's just you saying it. Secondly, when you continue to say, well, I know this organization does this, it's one thing to feign ignorance. It's another thing when it's exposed. It's well known. You know about it, and you continue to associate with the organization. There's something wrong with you. I hold myself to that same standard. If you can say that I'm doing something that's wrong, or I belong to something, or whatever, that has consistently done horrible shit, then fucking call me out on it. See if I defend it.
I've never heard that term, and I was married into a Jewish family for a while.
So what? You're a fucking goyim. They were goyim. Just because you didn't see, so many people do that, man. Arrogance always comes into play, and people don't even realize how arrogant they are.
I would like to see the statistics of where that's actually practiced at.
Right, because there's gonna be a big list of people that are like, "Yep, I practice Matitza Pape. Let me sign this list."
I mean, there's got to be some sort of registry for the moils that.
And you think you're gonna have access to it? Where would you get access to it? Especially if it's something that's purposefully hidden from us. And what is the limit? What if you found the list and it's only, say, 50 people per year? Would that make it okay?
I'm thinking that it's more like in very secluded areas.
Okay, again, do you see Jews actively condemning it anywhere?
No, and that would lead me to believe that it's not happening as often as
Why?
we're thinking.
Why would that be the thing that would, like, that's the direction it would go? Because Jews aren't actively opposed to it must mean it doesn't happen? Or maybe it happens a lot more than you realize, and they don't want to acknowledge it. Any way you slice it, you're not going to find a group of Jews that are actively, and all of them should be. It's not like it's a secret. If I know about it, they know about it. And there are, again, this is arrogance coming through, but it's not like you look. This isn't a world you spend much time in. So to be like, well, if I don't know about it, it must not be true, that's insane. And like I say, where do you draw the line? Do you say, okay, well, it only happens 3 times every year? Then that just excuses the whole rest of the group? So if NAMBLA only rapes 3 children a year, should we let NAMBLA still exist? No.
Punishing the group for 3 people's bad doings, though.
Punishing the group for defending and allowing and not openly condemning. What if those three people, they know that it, what if it's only those 3 people and the whole group knows that it's happening and does nothing about it? If you know that sexual abuse is happening and you do nothing about it, doesn't that make you just as guilty as those doing it? And again, why do you think you're so programmed to try to find a reason why for this one group? Because you don't do this for NAMBLA. You don't do that for anybody else. But for this one group, you're like, oh, well, we can't. No, they're this. Well, what did they do to deserve this? Especially when you attach it to everything else. This is the people that commit the genocide. This is the people that gave you the slave religions. These are the people that control all of the perceptions we have in every aspect. These are the people that control Hollywood. These are the people that are continuously caught raping people in Hollywood. Not just children, people. And then there's the whole... because again, you're not looking into it, so you don't know. But the Bottom of Darkness article pretty much lets you know that this is not only happening all over Israel, but they all know about it. This isn't some secret. You can't have ritualistic sexual abuse in every quarter, every sector, every denomination, every aspect of Israel. Israel is littered with these stories. It's not some secret. The same rabbi, there was 10 girls interviewed and the same rabbi got brought up multiple times. And these 10 girls interviewed are just a smallest fraction of those on record. And those on record are just the smallest fraction of those that are actually abused. And yet 99% of the time, the Israeli police shut down the case before there's any investigation or anything. Because that makes sense, because Israel doesn't have the funds to be able to do a proper investigation.
Or the know-how.
Or the know-how. And because the abuse is often so bad, most people don't believe it. Though these are things that make sense, right? This thought process. When you have the good guys, quote, in the article claiming that multiple times that, well, the reason that it's not a bigger deal is because the abuse is often so horrific that people just assume the kids are lying, exaggerating. This article was in April of 2025 is when this article was put out.
Is that the table falling? Or
It's
was
a garbage truck.
It was?
Yeah. April of 2025. How many of you heard about this article other than on my page? Or other than from me? Did you see the rest of the world talking about it? Did you see this article picked up by a whole bunch of other news stations? Remember, this isn't some podunk little fucking, nothing paper. This is Israel's #1 free news publication. Israel Hayom is Sheldon Adelson's baby. By all means, somebody tell me what the fuck I'm getting wrong. Dumb shit, dumb shit, dumb shit, dumb shit. Dumb shit, dumb shit, dumb shit, dumb shit, dumb shit, dumb shit, dumb shit. People are responsible for their own actions. But when your actions, part of your actions are ignoring child abuse, not fighting against child abuse. You don't get to say, oh, well, I knew about it. I didn't partake in it, but I also didn't do anything to stop it. That you don't get to say that and get some sort of, oh, okay, well, you're a good person then. No. You're a piece of shit. And everybody that comes on here in opposition to me is a piece of shit. And again, you just don't grasp this idea that the pedophiles are so much more prolific than you think they are. Now you've got this show doing the Mandela effect. Oh, because you're not supposed to focus on distraction bullshit like the Mandela effect. That's why this show's talking about it. Guys, you tell me what I'm wrong about. You convince me that I'm wrong, and I'll fucking admit it. You show me that I'm wrong, and there's all these Jewish organizations that are opposing this shit, and there really are these good Jews out there. Show me who they are, and I'll fucking acknowledge it. I have no problem with that. Why is there a woman walking down the street in high heels? That's weird. Look at somebody's trying to distract again. You're wrong because I'm not looking up some dumb wrestler. The fuck do we give a shit about that? What would be the purpose of that? Imagine again somebody coming on here and trying to tell me, instead of saying, holy shit, man, this is crazy. Yeah, we need to do something about that. Blah, 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 blah. They come in here and try to be like, hey, talk about something completely different. Talk about something completely different. Don't talk about what you're talking about. I guess the difference between you and I is I think I don't have an idea of just how bad it is, but I'm more than convinced that it's a lot worse than you think it is. And I don't just, I am very comfortable calling the average person a pedophile. They have to be. You laugh, but they have to be. The child exploitation materials being one of the largest fucking online dark web industries, it doesn't exist because a couple of people do it. It's not one of the biggest things because a couple of people are doing it. All these predator hunters all over every single platform that exists, catching people every single day, isn't because it's some niche group. The people that they catch are just a percentage of the people that actually hit up the profile and try to get pictures and all that shit. They're catching only a small minority of the people. And at least half the people that get caught on a regular basis are fucking registered sex offenders. So the registry isn't doing shit. You have pedophiles up and down your street, whether they're on the registry or not. You have pedophiles in your fucking family. People that are close to you. Those people have pictures on their phone or in their computer or some shit. It wouldn't exist if it wasn't everywhere. It wouldn't be so prolific if it wasn't everywhere. There wouldn't be so many Trump supporters if there weren't so many fucking pedos out there. Who can support a Trump supporter, or who can support a pedophile? As soon as this person could be the, free energy, free health care, everybody gets $1 million a year person. If you find out that they rape children or have raped children, do they still get your support? No. I know that sucks, sure, it'd be great if we had free this, free that, free the other thing. That doesn't mean we sacrifice, children for that person's benefit. Fuck that person. Literally. Give them to somebody who likes to abuse people and let them have a fucking time with them. I support Trump. Yep. You fucking support Trump, so you're a pedophile. That's how I see it. And the reality is, if I'm wrong, then you should be able to prove it. Where is the opposition? Ellie claims to be a Filipino and she's a Trump supporter. Boy, I bet that works out well. Trump and all his good Filipino buddies. The same group that created Epstein, created Maxwell, they created Charlie. But this time, by creating Charlie, they don't have to sacrifice one of their own. It would have been so much better if it was Ben Shapiro. If Shapiro got kirked. But all these people pretending like Charlie, why does everybody think Charlie was killed over his free speech? Over his religious beliefs? Where do you even get that narrative from? We don't even have the right shooter. How can you say that we know the motivation for it? Oh, well, that text exchange, that just makes no fucking sense. That absolutely sounds like someone my age communicating with someone else my age. Hello, my love. Have you seen the text exchange? Have you seen how ridiculous it is? Using periods and commas and shit. Yeah, 20-year-olds don't do that. 20-year-olds don't speak that way. They don't text that way. 20-year-olds don't talk about my vehicle and the drop point and, This person, Tyler Robinson, supposedly got a 4.0 and scored a 34 out of a 36 on his SATs. And yet he was dumb enough to confess to every single thing, every aspect of the crime in a text message stream to his trans lover, speaking in a way, I'm worried about what my old man's gonna say. When was the last time you heard a fucking 20-year-old refer to their dad as my old man? It's fucking silly, man. Look at all the effort going into trying to distract and not address what's being said. When you see that people are analyzed, so there's been a couple of different people who have shown. Kirk's story keeps getting weirder and weirder. Where is the disappearing foot, the disappearing chair, the disappearing guy? So, in the footage of the supposed shooter running away, right? There are people that are in the background. And at one point, there's a guy that's walking on one of the sidewalks way over here. He goes behind a tree and he disappears. That's evidence of editing, right? And as soon as you see any sort of evidence of editing, every piece of evidence is thrown out the window. You can't believe anything. As soon as you discover some sort of fuckery, it's all fuckery. And why would you accept that? Why would you accept that the narrative you've been given? Everything about it doesn't make sense. Even the footage that so if the AI footage, where they showed the footage of the shooter and then AI spruced it up to make it more visible. And then you show a picture of Tyler Robinson next to the AI generated image. And it looks nothing alike him. Nothing. What's the purpose of it? If it's that inaccurate, then how can it be trusted for being used anyway? It didn't show him. It showed a completely different person. And of course, Tyler Robinson is saying, I didn't do this shit. What's wrong with you?
Oh my God. House Republicans plan to introduce a bill this week directing the U.S. Treasury to mint 400,000 silver dollar coins bearing Charlie Kirk's likeness.
Yep. It's just like thinking he turned against Israel. If he turned against... Think about this.
If we don't have Martin Luther King on our money, we don't have this motherfucking...
The narrative that Charlie Kirk turns against Israel. If he turned against Israel, why is Israel talking about how great he was? As soon as he turns against Israel, don't they immediately start calling him anti-Semitic? And don't they immediately attack him? That's what's happened every other time. Kirk's getting a national holiday, or gotten a national holiday. He's getting money now. I mean, seriously. You want to talk about just straight up bullshittery. It's all the fucking same. You should be embarrassed to fall for that shit, to believe any of it. So anyway, I was surprised by when I saw that. Snake Eyes, go check that shit out. Go check out all the links in the description. It's always the same links. Just the receipts, basically. It's all just receipts. If you want receipts for everything that we're talking about, go look in my description. I provide you with nothing but receipts. Well, and the link to the free music, which is the best music you haven't yet to hear, but especially with our new Hanukkah song. Go check out the new Hanukkah song. It's so good. I'm so proud of it. And of course, it sounds like a Charles song. It's not going to sound like that song, but it's so good. It's so good. The divine hand wrote that. That's where the whole prove that God isn't working through me idea came from, because boy howdy did the Hanukkah song come out extremely easily. I almost didn't have to put any effort in.
This is a song that there's a lot of Christmas songs out there, and not too many Hanukkah songs. So I rewrote a song for all those little Jewish kids who don't get to hear any Hanukkah songs. Here we go. If you wear a yarmulke and you celebrate Hanukkah, what could be the funica of celebrating Hanukkah? Hanukkah is a celebration of circumcision. The Maccabee Revolution was one awful decision. When you start to notice that they all seem to be cult members, here's a list of people who are Jewish that are ritual sex offenders. Clearly Donald Trump lights the menorah. That's why he's so revered by the chosen diaspora. Guess who ate blood libel as her son pulled off the con? A dirty rat like Bible, no one less than Hitler's mom. Biden doesn't have to be Jewish to be a Zionist. Just like Hillary Clinton, they're both on the APAC list. You don't need to look too hard to find the snake that's in the grass. Netanyahu, to say the Smotrich, Ben Gavir can kiss my ass, all terrorists. Guy Williams, not a Jew. But guess who is? Jeffrey Epstein, Robert Maxwell, number 2, face deaths. 85% of Congress is under Israel's control, which is why they're never honest when it's time to pay the toll. Some people think that it's a slur and we should cower to say 0.13% has all the money and the power. There are so many Jews controlling Hollywood, so it's no wonder actors say that all that fame's not really good. Everyone and their mama-cuz know they're who's dropping bomba-cuz. This should send alarma-cuz like Boyles and Brit Malonica. Please don't drink gin and tonica, but smoke that marijuana-ca. You really, really should wanna-ca to happily obliterate Hanukkah.
Woo! Woo! Too late. We've got so much coming out soon too. I've recorded so much, now it's just up to Charles to get his monkey ass in order. Anyway, have yourself a great day. Go get your free download. Everything, all the links are in the description. Literally, every link in the description is worth checking out, but especially the Israel Hayom article, which is really, to me, the most important article ever read, or ever written. The most important article ever written, and the most important film ever made. I gave you links to both of those. Hollywoodism is the most important film ever made. You absolutely need to watch that and see what they fucking tell you. It explains Charlie Kirk to a goddamn T. So, go check it out. Go have yourself a wonderful day. And all of you piece of shit pedophiles, fucking kill yourself.